Daily vlog, day 31. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna make a panna cotta, which is like an Italian custard that can be flavored with a wide variety of flavors. We're going to use vanilla, but not just any vanilla. We're gonna use vanilla from the pod. Look at this pod. Inside are tiny little flecks of vanilla goodness that we are going to cut right out of it. What we're gonna do is cut the vanilla bean right down the center and scrape out all that seedy vanilla goodness. When cutting the vanilla bean, you want to make sure that you cut down the middle and don't touch the sides. If you touch the sides, his little nose will light up and you will lose the pod. You just start scraping all the good vanilla right out of there. The recipe is actually quite simple. All you need is 2 cups or 500 milliliters of light cream. Of course, I substituted 100 milliliters of heavy cream. That's how I roll. Then you add into that about 150 grams of 10x powdered sugar. God, you imagine the street value of that stuff? I swear it's just sugar. And 4 sheets of gelatin. Now, you could also substitute powdered gelatin, but I really like using the sheets. So what you do is you soak them in some cold water for a few minutes until they get all bleh, 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 bleh. Now, you can top a panna cotta with almost anything. Chocolate, caramel, a dulce de leche that somebody gave you for Christmas about a year ago. But I am going to use strawberries. We're going to whiz them up in a mini food processor, add a little bit of powdered sugar, and a little masala wine, and pour that over our panna cottas. Now the first thing you want to do is pour the cream into a pot and bring it very, very slowly up to a simmer. Cream is very delicate, like a newborn baby's skull. The next thing you want to do is take your powdered sugar and add that into the cream. And then you just whisk it together. Make sure you whisk it nice and good because you don't want to have any lumps in there. And now we add the vanilla seeds. So take all of that vanilla goodness and throw it right in there. You don't want to waste any bit. And over a medium-low heat, you just let this come up to a simmer. Interestingly enough, panna cotta in Italian literally means the regrets of the wounded unicorn. And once you taste this, you can really see why. Now it's starting to simmer. Turn the heat off. You want to add your gelatin leaves, but first you want to remove the vanilla pods. Now to remove the vanilla beans, I recommend for you mere mortals to use a pair of tongs or a fork. However, after years of Shaolin training, I can boldly and bravely, without feeling any pain at all, reach into this boiling milk and pull them out. Like so. 1. 2. Now my gelatin leaves are all... So I'm going to squeeze out the water and add it to the milk. Just stir, 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 whisk, whisk, whisk. And now we put it in the ramekins. A nice little accent is to line the ramekins with gold, but if you cannot afford that, the next best thing is to pour a little bit of masala wine into each one. Just a dribble. Of course, you can skip that step if you choose and line it with something else, maybe a little orange juice or a little pear nectar. Now we give it one final whisk. Make sure we get all the little vanilla specks that are stuck to the side. And we pour. Now refrigerate these for at least 2 hours. And while you're waiting for them to solidify, you could spend those next 2 to 3 hours doing something productive, like sharpening your knife collection. Let's be serious. My knives are sharp enough. I'm gonna work on the sauce. And now into our mini processor, we will add strawberries. Make sure you cut the ends off of them. You could have strawberries of all shapes and sizes and religions. It really doesn't matter. Move this down a little bit. Reminds me of college. Can't forget, you want to add a tablespoon of powdered sugar. If it's not sweet enough, you can add a little more. And just a splash of masala wine. Just a splash. This ain't a college kegger. And that should do it. Now what we'll do is we'll pull the panna cotta out of the fridge, remove it from the ramekin, plate it, and then pour some of this lovely, luscious strawberry sauce over top of it. And then we eat! Now, this one's been sitting in the fridge for about 4 hours. And as you can tell, it's pretty solid. What you want to do is run your knife gently around the edge so that it pulls away from the side. If you've done it correctly, mostly all of your panna cotta comes out of the ramekin. And now we spoon a little bit of our strawberry sauce on top. Et voila, she is done. And now the best part. This has been Daily Vlog number 31. 334 to go. I'll see you tomorrow. Reminds me why I got kicked out of med school. Reminds me of those days in the cabin. Reminds me of what Mom used to make me do. Reminds me of why my first girlfriend left. I love the sound of shredding. This has been sitting in the fridge for about 4 to 5 hours. And as you can tell, it is